This author proudly claims that she uses AI to generate over 200 novels a year, and authors and readers alike are frustrated. So this is the article in question, written in the New York Times. The title reads, "The New Fabio is Claude." And this is written by Alexandra Alter. So it talks about this author by the name of Coral Hart. Now, Coral used to be a legitimate author that wrote herself, and she would write quickly, 10 to 12 books a year, under 5 different pen names alongside ghostwriting. But it reads, with the help of AI, Miss Hart can now publish books at an astonishing rate. Last year, she produced more than 200 romance novels in a range of subgenres, from dark mafia romances to sweet teen stories, and self-published them on Amazon. And now her books didn't generate like great sales by any means, but collectively they sold around 50,000 copies, earning Miss Hart 6 figures. This means that she's averaging about 250 sales per book. What's also funny is that like while she was doing the Zoom interview, she was also using AI to generate a book, and it took about 45 minutes. And it reads, when it comes to her current pen names, Ms. Hart doesn't disclose her use of AI because there's still a strong stigma around the technology. And Coral Hart is one of her early, now retired pseudonyms. She also requested anonymity because she uses her real name for publishing and coaching projects, and she fears that revealing her AI use would damage her business for that work. Okay, wait, hold up. Is it one of those like the rules for thee but not for me type thing? Because like you use AI to write 200 books a year under like 21 different pen names, but you're scared that its AI use is gonna damage your business in publishing. I feel like it doesn't work that way, right? You either use it or you don't. If you are so proud of your AI usage and how you're using it to write books, well, why is it like this? And another user on Threads literally quoted that as well. People in the comments were all in agreement. This person says, literally the fact she can't put 2 and 2 together. And OP says, the only 2 and 2 she cares about are dollars. And yeah, I pay my mortgage with money from writing, so I'm not against getting paid, but I'm against stealing everyone else's work to do so. And somebody says, if they're cool with using AI to write books, they should all be in on shouting it out loud and putting it on their books. And another person says, really says it all, doesn't it? Obviously can't be that proud of her AI work if she treats it like she's in witness protection. That would have me laughing, honestly. And this is a notable quote from the article. And the quote reads, the way Miss Hart sees it, romance writers must either embrace AI or get left behind. Quote, if I can generate a book in a day and you need 6 months to write a book, who's gonna win the race? That is so icky. Like, what? Oh, because I can put out more slop than you, so like, who's gonna win? Don't be weird. What? By the way, I want to add that Laura Thalassa is like a really notable author. I read a couple of her works. I have some of her works like Pestilence, and then she's also written Rhapsodic. She is a really notable author. So here we have what a popular romance fantasy author, their thoughts on it. And Laura writes, if this is how an author, in quotes, feels about writing, then effing sit down. I do not write because it's some shitty rat race I'm hoping to win. I write because it's cathartic, because I could not exist without it. That is what art is for. Human expression, not some pathetic race to bottom endeavor. But sure, you win the late stage capitalism game. And Laura adds, that whole article is rage bait. Nothing pisses me off more than these grifters thinking they're suddenly Shakespeare because they inputted prompts into an AI machine that illegally trained on a decade of my effing work. And another commenter says, no machine will ever write something as profound as a person, something that readers connect with. I will reread forever before I choose to buy or read AI trash. And another person writes, whenever I read articles defending AI in art, they always act like creating art is painful and boring. Like creating is the enjoyment of it. I don't want music that is mildly pleasing to my eardrums. I'd rather listen to teenagers that picked up their instruments 6 weeks ago and are singing about how they hate gym class. I'd rather read a 14-year-old's cringy self-insert fanfics. I want bad art over AI. And by the way, I was a Wattpad girly. Comment down below if you were one of those, but I was writing cringy stories on Wattpad and reading other teenagers' cringy fanfic. And another user writes, quote, romance is about being seen, end quote. 10 books written with AI. Quote, be shameless. Who's gonna judge you? End quote. 200 books in a year. Who's gonna win this race? If you hide AI, it sells just fine. These are their names. And this commenter found a bunch of pen names. So Coral Hart, Sydney Marsh, and Sonia Rompoti. A lot of these were already listed also in the article. Casey Crown, Lena McDonald, Future Fiction Press, and the founder of Future Fiction Press, Elizabeth Ann West. And they add, the only thing I'm adding to this list is that these writers are not limited to using AI for writing. Do your own research, but it appears they use AI for covers. If you don't understand why this is bad, then do your own homework. And by the way, if you were just curious about like the reviews of these books, this is the Coral Heart alias. 36 ratings, 1.89 average, 30 ratings, 1.7, 17 ratings, 1.12. This is Goodreads. So Goodreads does like you a little bit more critical in terms of their ratings. 1.12, 1.42, 1.25, 1.12, 1 star average. I will say, before the article came out, a lot of these had 0 reviews at all, actually. The reviews came like afterwards. And I think it's pretty expected, but AI is also used on the covers. Because if you used AI in the book, I don't put it past you to use it in the cover. Dude, we have mystery, building tile as a window. The tiles all do not line up properly at all. It's glitching into the lights. The ceiling tiles are also glitching, that wobbly tile. I mean, it's pretty obvious. We have beach bar, but just look at the H. It is 2 H's smushed one into another. The seat of the bike is not actually attached to the bike itself. Here we have a boat. And I don't know what's happening to the railing on the front of the boat here, or the railing for the house, because this one post is like stuck on the port. There's like a post here on the porch, and then the next post is actually attached to the sand. Shells that are not shells. And also the boat's shadow doesn't match the boat. I don't need to dig more. You already know. And what is also interesting is that if you use AI for a book, right? Or any media for that matter, you don't own the rights to it. We have this user on Threads, Legal Mia, writing, should not be a hot lawyer take, but feeding AI a prompt is a one-way ticket to having work that is legally fragile at best. Hi, I'm Taylor, an attorney, and we deal with intellectual property in AI every day. So let's talk about what this actually means for writers and creators. Here's the legality most are missing. Copyright in the US requires human authorship. AI can assist, but AI cannot be the author. If the system deciding the wording, structure, and expression, that output by itself is not fully copyrightable. So she writes, you can copyright your human written sections, your edits and rewrites, your creative selection and arrangement, substantial human modifications to AI content. But the raw AI generated parts themselves, those must be disclaimed if you register. But also US copyright law might be a bit finicky because the author is based in South Africa, so outside of the continental US. But the big theory that people are basically having, right, is like, what is the point of generating all of these books? It doesn't even seem like the author likes what she's doing. Well, guys, if you thought that she had a course, you would be right, because this is also mentioned in the New York Times article, Plot Prose by Coral Heart. And yes, she has a course to teach you how to use AI to write books. I wish I was joking. The New York Times article says that she taught over 1,600 people how to use AI to make a novel, and that she's also starting an AI writing program teaching you how to generate a book within 1 hour, costing between $80 and $250 a month. Yo, if I'm gonna be cheap and take the easy way out by using AI to generate a book, I would never, but if I were, why would I pay you to show me how to do that? Like, do I genuinely not know how to think for myself? It says, your story starts here. Tired of writer's block? I am Coral Heart and I get it. As an award-winning international best-selling author with over 14 years of experience, I am also the most talked about pen name in training writers for success. I founded Plot Prose to help writers like you turn their ideas into a reality. Blah, 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 blah. We're revolutionizing the writing process by combining the best of traditional publishing with the power of modern AI writing tools. From pre-written books and outlines to ghostwriting and editing, we customize our service to fit your needs. Many of our clients have become bestsellers themselves, and now it's your turn. Wait, hold on. So I don't know anything about the writing world, right? I am a reader. The current book that I'm reading is Lore in the Wilds. What do you mean pre-written books? I know ghostwriting is a thing, right? But like, you're going to use Anthropic, generate a book, and I put my name on it? Literally, what joy would I ever get from you doing that? So there's AI writing training workshops. This is so dystopian. Level up lab package. Stop writing books. Start building assets. I thought the point was to write books. Like, I thought authors like to write. Like, I like to write. It's fun. Why would I want to stop doing that? All right, there's the founders round for $1,000. For you to tell me how to not write? How much are these other ones? These other courses, $100. Building vivid worlds with AI. May Launchpad, $300. A month-long mini mentorship to take you from zero to publish 3 books in a month with AI assistance. There's AI creation kits. A complete business in a box for your next book, containing all the assets required to write, design, and market your work effectively. It contains a comprehensive outline, marketing suite, customizable cover concepts. Okay, here's my question. Can you sell this? right? AI creation kits. So like AI is evolved in this process, right? I'm guessing in the covers and other materials, there's also AI. So let's see, cozy romance. Oh, there's no products. Well, cozy mystery. Where is my alligator? So this is all AI generated also. So it's 1,000 South African rands, which equals to about 63 USD. So for 63 USD, I would get a full chapter by chapter outline, complete character profiles with emotional wound mapping, professionally designed cover that stops the scroll, so an AI generated cover, ready to publish blurb and marketing copy. Okay, I'm like confused also. Like if anybody's a writer, I would love to know more, but like doesn't this defeat the purpose of writing? This is like if you're an artist and somebody is like, here is an artist Twitter page that you can buy. All the art is pre-made. The captions are already pre-written. Here is a Laura generated off some stolen artwork. So you can generate more of these. Like, why would I ever buy that? That defeats the whole point. Skip the draft package. Stop writing, start editing. Okay, see, here's the crazy part, right? Because all of these hooks are stop writing, stop doing the fun part of the job. Like, editing can be fun too, but like, okay, wait, this is crazy. She needs to save her brother. He needs to possess her. Neither expected the obsession that follows. A former ballerina turned exhausted waitress discovers her younger brother owes a dangerous debt to the city's most ruthless crime lord. Oh, I misread it. Okay, because the way that it's structured, right, the sentence, she needs to save her brother. He needs to possess her, right? Because no other character is introduced in this title line. The he looks like it's referring to the previous subject, right, which is the brother. This is what I mean. This is what happens when you go use GPT to go generate a bunch of stuff. It doesn't make sense. Like the way you read this, anybody who reads it in the logical sensical order would infer that he is referring to the brother here, which it's not. It's referring to mystery guy Kieran Voss that we didn't discover yet. So for 250 USD, you could buy a pre-written book. What the heck? And here's what a user on Threads has to say. They write, here's the thing. If Carol Hart were actually making six figures on her AI-generated slop books, she wouldn't have to sell courses teaching others how to do it. It's a grift. It is always a grift. I said what I said. And another user says, hey guys, I want to talk about the New York Times article and hopefully give you some hope. Not too long ago, I was working as a ghostwriter for what's called a fiction mill, which essentially employs the put out 30 to 50 books a year for maximum page reads on KDP business model. These companies essentially hire 20 plus ghostwriters like me at a time to constantly put out books. These companies make some money. They would have to pay authors 6 cents per word, so roughly 6K per book, but they're not inundating the top 100 in the Kindle store. Mind you, these books, in theory, because it's not like they check, are written by actual people, not AI. So it's not soulless dribble. And as of right now, the pen name I was hired under only has one single book out of literal hundreds on the Kindle top 100. Can somebody be taught to cobble together 80K words in something that vaguely resembles a story with AI? Sure, but as we all know, simply writing the book isn't enough. The book has to be good. The characters have to feel human. In essence, the person doing the prompting needs to have good taste, a knowledge of genre conventions and audiences. These AI bots can't spit out fully fleshed out stories. Somebody still has to go through and separate the tiny bits of wheat from copious amounts of chaff. They have to market the damn book. AI cannot give that. These people pay a bunch of money for this course and eventually fail and give up. We all know how brutal this business can be. 4 million books are published every year. No one who is successful or working their way towards success would be able to sustain their business if they didn't have a passion or desire to do it. Y'all, as writers, we do this because without this, there would be nothing else that does it for us. We write because what the hell else will we be doing with our time? It is the best thing out there. So please don't panic and don't lose hope. This will just be a blip, maybe an annoying trend for a year or two. Looking at you, NFTs, but your favorites are not getting usurped. If fiction mills still have trouble getting to the top 100, AI slop has no chance, bro. Which also, that's wild. I didn't know something like fiction mills even existed. But I think that's the big thing at the end of the day, right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I could just scam the system by using AI to make a ton of books. People don't want to read crap. People want to read good books. If I open up your book and all I'm seeing is a bunch of like slop and it's poorly written, no one's gonna finish the book. That is the hope. That is the beauty of it. There is a demand for quality, and AI cannot give that quality. And even in the New York Times article, the author, Coral Hart, I guess author in loose quotes because all of her recent stuff's all AI generated. She was even complaining about how difficult AI is to work with to write. It's like, oh, this one is too like stiff. This one doesn't do NSFW content well. This one always uses the same like couple of, cringy words and I have to go back and change it, which wow, that wouldn't be a problem if you wrote it yourself, right? Because you just wouldn't write it that way. So I'm curious about your thoughts. If you are a reader, what do you like to read? What's your favorite book? I would love to know. I'm always looking for more recs. And if you're an author, is there something, a project you're working on? I would love to hear your stories and ideas down below because I love to read human books, quality books. Yay. So with that, I hope you guys like this video. If you do, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Thursdays now instead of Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. I hope to catch y'all there or in another video or in a book. Peace.